All right, one of the top security officials on the ground during the Benghazi attack breaking his silence last night. He says the U.S. government knew an attack was imminent and didn't do a thing about it back in 2013 on 9/11. My next guest sending a letter out to the Secretary of State, John Kerry, demanding answers. Not only does he want to know why those warnings weren't ignored, the other big question is, why aren't the suspects on the State Department's most wanted list with the reward to apprehend them? Joining us right now is the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, Representative Michael McCaul. This really bothers you, Chairman. But first off, what did you get out of the 60 Minutes feature last night?
Well, you know, the fact that the people on the ground for the first time have come forward to tell their story about what happened. And what they saw when they got to Benghazi before 9/11 were the black flags of al-Qaeda flying. They saw the Red Cross embassy attacked, or Red Cross attacked, the British ambassador, an assassination attempt on him. And then the third thing, that they actually put all this on the internet, sort of prophesizing what they were getting ready to do, was to take out our consulate in Benghazi. This was all foreseeable, and warnings were made to State Department in Washington, and a cry for help was made by the ambassador. Those cries for help were not responded to.
Now, which the crazy thing is that you pointed out, and you pointed out in your letter, is if you really want to get the guys that killed our guys, we know they're al-Qaeda. That is our chief enemy. Out of all the Islamic extremists, that's the one group. So that they did it. You said there's no reward next to their name. They're not on the most wanted list. What's going on there?
There's a Rewards for Justice program that brought down Ramzi Youssef, the 93 World Trade Center bomber. Saddam Hussein's brothers were apprehended under this program. And yet these suspects, these terrorists, have not been put on this list. I just think it's a sign from the administration they're not taking it seriously. It's not a priority. This could bring these terrorists to justice. It's been over a year. I think we had them in our sights. We let them go, and now this is the best chance we can get to apprehend them. Let me just say one more thing, because these reports, when these guys came in that talked on 60 Minutes last night and saw al-Qaeda flags and al-Qaeda operatives, they telegraphed that to Washington. And yet when the attack occurred on 9/11, the response was simply, it's a video in Florida.
They told that to the families as the bodies came back in Dover Air Force Base. This was a video, and we're gonna get on the producers who did this video.
Really offensive to the victims here, and we owe it to the victims to catch these terrorists, bring them to justice.
The one thing that was missing out of the whole report last night was that these were Hillary Clinton's policies that they were following and not following, and there was no follow-through.
She was behind all this, and I think it's going to haunt her in any potential presidential election. I was one of the last ones to question her in Congress on Foreign Affairs Committee about these cables, about these warnings. And what was your response, Madam Secretary? I never saw them, she said.
What bothers me most, and it's a little out of your auspices, but when Hicks was told there is no help coming, and that to tell those who are under attack at the annex, no help is coming, I still find that, I know that's a different page, inexcusable, and it's never been adequately explained to me.
I think this one is the most disturbing and offensive event of all the tragedy of Benghazi, and that is, you know, the military teaches no man left behind. No man left behind. And we left behind our ambassador and 3 other Navy SEAL and 2 Foreign Service officers. We left them behind to die. And you heard it last night. They called for additional help. Right. What was the response? We can't send any help.
And, Mr. Chairman, what do you think it's like right now in Benghazi? If there were al-Qaeda flags then when we were occupying our embassy, what do you think it's like now? Now that the British have pulled out and we've pulled out and everybody else. This might as well be al-Qaeda country.
Listen, this is the greatest threat to not only the region over there in the Middle East, but also the homeland. And that is that al-Qaeda is spreading like a wildfire across northern Africa. It's growing out of control. They are taking over these, Libya. They're trying to take over Egypt. Syria, it's all playing out in Syria. And I see, again, this is the greatest threat to the homeland.
And as Brett Baer broke a year ago, and they mentioned last night, a Gitmo detainee is running things over there. And the world pressure to let these guys go, that's what we get in response. We should not give in to that pressure. Hopefully we learn from it. Chairman Michael McCaul, always love having you in studio.
Hey, Brian, thanks so much for having me.
Great to see you.